Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. And be comfortable yourself and relax your body. So once we get connected with our other students, we're ready to start the session for today. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, let's take few minutes to understand how this meditation will help for us to develop our conventional life, and at the same time, out of that conventional development, how you can gain more deeper spiritual success. So always you have to remember, even though we are separating this conventional and spiritual, it's mostly only for practice point of view. Otherwise, there is no deeper separation or completely separate from the conventional or spiritual level and exit something that we can call spiritual. Because it's kind of like the way you maintain your material, physical life, conventional life, it's become spiritual. So if you neglect that, then you can't, there is no something beyond this conventional world, there is no any spiritual world. So that's why it is very important to understand the harness of this connection or in between this spiritual and conventional life. So when it comes to ourselves, it is very important basically to recognize the very fundamental mechanism of the body and mind, and it will help you to understand the connection in between spiritual and material. So when it comes to our life, the body and mind has a deeper interconnection. So it's kind of like a 50-50. So the mind is creating this body, and the body need for the mind to be here, and at the same time, mind need the body to govern itself. So this interconnection in day-to-day life need to harness with the outside world or the material world. Because without this material world, without this outside, there is no that what we call inside. That as example, all the perception that you perceive or all the memory that you have already, it's something happened from outside. But it happens from outside and it came and you hold as memory, even though that outside incident already gone, the memory now already here. Just imagine then, in case if you are not capable to experience that outside event, you are not capable to have this memory like this. So, but the thing is, when it becomes the memory, it has a different mechanism or different model than that what happened outside. So that is where you have the responsibility, you have the ability to change whatever happened around you. So there is a lesson one time Buddha gave. It's a lesson called to the second arrow. So the first arrow means it's already hit for us because of our previous lives. We have this life and we have this body, the physical world, material world. So we can't escape from this. We have to accept this. We have to go through this. This pain that happened in the body and all the dramas, all the unhappiness, sadness, worry, fear, disappointment we go through in around this. And sometimes we have to go with these worldly conditions. We have to accept it. We can't escape from it. But at the same time, so it's called the first arrow. So it's already hit. The pain that arises in this body, we can't stop. We have to accept it knowingly. It is not permanent, just bear it. So when you have that understanding regarding this impermanence, so then it will help you to deal with this, all the pain that you go through. But the second arrow is, it's up to you. You are the one who inviting for that. So the second arrow means, after you hit the first arrow, the way you react to it, the way you take it, can change the outcome. So then whatever happens, you can take it as a positive way or you can take it as a negative way. So according to that, what will happen? The very condition of the mind and the condition of life going to change. So it's depend according to your understanding, it depend according to your wisdom, or maybe depend according to your practice. So that's why already the first arrow is we got, but every day, each and every moment, we have opportunity to get the second arrow. We can't escape from it. But when it comes, you are capable to change it. So if you have the enough wisdom, that is where it will help you. Not to change the world, but to the way that we can change how the way we accept it. So without wisdom, you can't do it. So the ignorance, another way to explain the ignorance, we take the good things as bad, right things as wrong, profitable things as unprofitable. It's a kind of like an ignorance way. And the unprofitable things we take as profitable, wrong things and we take as right things, bad things we take as good things. So that is where the wisdom we need to understand things as it is and to understand the very mechanism of this cause and effect, the very mechanism of action, reaction, and result. Not to manipulate it, not to change it, but to understand it. So once you understand the very mechanism of the cause and effect, you are capable to be with it without misunderstanding, misdoing, or manipulating. So that is something that you kind of like tuning with the nature, or start to tune to the flow. But most of the time what happened, our egocentric, self-centered mind bring the idea, oh, I can do this. I can do the way I want. So how far? How many times? You have done many things in life like that, but if you look very carefully, you have to go back again to the beginning point. So that is where your journey not happening, because you always keep doing the things the way you want, and then it go back to the beginning point. But if you start to get into the flow of nature, there is no repetition. So when it comes to practice ourselves, always you have to remember, it is very important for yourself to merge with the very next available moment, to upgrade yourself, to become more better yourself. If you neglect that, then your progress or your growth not going to happen. So then practicing meditation itself means not just settling down, not you completely come to the stop point, but to be aware and always keep the open mind, open heart, and observing, recognizing, and understanding the very moment, and taking the necessary physical, mental, verbal actions, knowingly your own inner intention, and without greed, hatred, or the delusion. So that's a process. Always remember, but the most of time when you sit for meditation, if you, without looking for your next available moment, maybe your imagination jump forward. As example, you want to count, so 1 to 10. So you can maybe say 1, and then you can jump to the 8 or the 9, thinking, I want to count fast. But it's not going to validate. So you have to, the next available one, the 1 and the next available one is the 2. So you go into 2. So like that in your life, always you have to remember, most of time our desire overtake our intention, and we always want to jump forward, go beyond the next moment. No, you have to be available for the next moment, next available moment, rather than jumping ahead. So that is a very important skill that you have to develop in your mind. You have to have the patience, courage to accept it, and you have to be humble to adapt to that situation. Otherwise, always you may think, I want more like that. So, but progress of the meditation, progress of your spiritual life never going to come out of what you holding, grasping, clinging, or jumping or imagination. It's always come when you are open, when you are ready to accept the next available thing. So when it comes to that, there are four directions that you have to develop your mind in. So one is the wisdom. So when it comes to the wisdom, that wisdom should be complete wisdom, not half, not that what you think. It should be complete wisdom. That is very important. So until you come to that completion, don't stop your journey. Consistency is very necessary. Effort is very necessary. Awareness is very necessary. To come to that completion, being available to next moment. So sometimes when we want the wisdom, just imagine you want to read a book. You may start with the first chapter, and then suddenly your mind say, go to the last chapter. And maybe you passing many chapters and go to the last chapter and see what it say finally. Some as summary, but getting as summary sometimes, you're not going to get the exact message out of that book. Maybe you get some ideas. So mostly what happens in our conventional world nowadays, we are mesmerizing with ideas. But remember, ideas not going to help for you to gain deeper wisdom or the understanding. It will help for you to develop some kind of conventional level of the knowledge. But it's not going to take you to deeper wisdom. That wisdom always come out of experience, and at the same time, when the knowledge, the wisdom come out of the experience, it's going to become complete. That is what we missing most of time. We go into different parts, and we know certain things, but not complete. So that completion means the complete wisdom here means always you have to remember yourself, you should not interfere with the suffering, or you should not create your own suffering in the future. Just imagine, it doesn't matter conventional level who you are. So whatever you keep doing, out of that present moment of action, if your future going to become difficult, what's the point? So then always remember that completion, or that the wisdom yourself, another way, that you in the present moment of your action, you are capable to manage, not to create any kind of difficulties, any kind of suffering in the future. So the next quality you have to develop, the compassion. It also very necessary. Look at the world. And out of the science, technology, machines, we are so developed, the world. More than any other time, we are capable to experience the life with these machines. But one part we missing, what is that? The compassion, empathy. Look at the world. People are using this everything to manipulate people, destroy the humanity. So then, if something we build up out of our human mind to destroy the humanity, it cannot calculate as the success. It is the very failure of us. So then always remember, that's why you always have, it doesn't matter whatever the field that you work, you develop in this conventional world. So one pillar you have to develop as the success, and other one you should have the compassion. That is where you can be balanced. So the wisdom the same. That's why when you come to the very completion of understanding, very completion of knowing, what happens? The wisdom going to be there with you. So then always remember, the compassion is very necessary part when it comes to wisdom. Wisdom cannot exist without compassion. So that compassion doesn't mean you blank your mind with the wrong ideas. No, because when you come to understand the very cause and effect, it will show that everything, how interconnected. And it will take you beyond the situations and understand the very nature of this world. So that is very necessary for all of us, because if you forget that nature, maybe you start to work like an alien. It doesn't work for this ground. But the Buddha's teaching is not like that. All the living beings that in this ground, in this earth, to entire universe, it works. So that's why start to look into yourself and see the compassion side. Develop it. Develop it. Be more open to it. Water it. Let it grow. Nourish it yourself. But that doesn't mean, remember, you should not misunderstand the compassion and the wisdom. So when you become compassion, that doesn't mean you ready to be ignorance. So what is that? Wrong things you don't take as right things. Unprofitable things you don't take as profitable things to head massage or make other people happy. You don't accept that. Even though you have compassion, if something wrong, you recognize it as wrong in the conventional level. So the next quality that you have to develop yourself, there are many moments you have to observe silence. Many moments. Even though our life depends more than any other time, we depend on the informations and the communication so advanced, but always remember, one of the very key points, how to observe and how to practice to be silence. We can't do most of the time. We always keep talking inside us, and not only that, we keep talking to outside world. Always we want to talk. Our mind always keep talking to us. Even you go to sleep, some people dreaming and they keep talking. So try to observe, practice silence, because it will sharpen your awareness. Try it. Learn to be silent, and it will help you to observe, because your consciousness always merge with one thing at one time. When you keep listening to your inside, you can't see, your eye consciousness doesn't work. So if you can shut down that your inner voice, that is where what you see going to become very clear, what you hear going to become very clear. So that is the third point that you have to develop to uplift your wisdom. So always remember, this should be access to your next available moment, not to jump. One is the wisdom, it should be very complete. Another one is the compassion, and you always have to have the compassion next to your wisdom, next to your development, or the next to your success. And observing silence, it gives a great opportunity for you to deeply understand things, especially when it comes to the vipassana level. That's why the tranquility state is the stage to develop the vipassana level. Not for everybody. Some people, they are born with the skill that they have that critical, analytical, deep understanding. But basically, when it comes to practice, always remember, try yourself to be silent a little bit, completely, even 1 minute enough, completely shut down everything. Even don't keep talking to yourself. And then the fourth one is the harnessing and bringing your life to the world. That is where there's all the human history and this inventions, and then our all the knowledge, wisdom, that everything validate. Just imagine, you have something, if you can't bring it to the world, share it with others, what will happen? Look at this, all the human history from the beginning to today. Whoever became successful mean what they understood, what they went through, they found a way to bring it to the world, share it with others. So that you can't do the way you want. Even in the the literature, this history, they are saying that when the Buddha attained to the Buddhahood, himself he had the doubt. That's what it say in the history. He was kind of like a withdraw from the mind. And if I tell this, who's going to understand it? Maybe they cannot understand it. And then later he start to talk this to the people. So then just imagine it, because just giving that, sharing something, it's not easy. Even the material things. That maybe you introduce something for people to do things, but they start to do it for very weird things. They may come with something else. So then yourself, you have to remember, so whatever that practice, that whatever wisdom you have, always you have to bring it to outside world with your bodily, verbally, mentally action. Always you have to know how to harness it. And when it comes to that, according to the outside cause and condition, situation going to become different. That is where you have to adapt. You have to have the ability to change according to the situation. Otherwise, you can't do it. So like parents, see, when they become a mother and father, what happens? They start to develop the ability naturally. They are capable to adapt to the situation of the child. They're not going to adapt the child to their situation. No. They start to do, they let go themselves, and they start to be harnessed with the child. They become so gentle. They become so kind, even though it is difficult for them. Still, they are capable to do that. And they give up everything and whatever, even in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, while they are sleeping. If the child wake up, they wake up. If the child hungry, they feed. If the child cry and want to go to restroom, they take. See, they have the ability to adapt. So then just imagine, use the same principle. When there are situations come in day-to-day life, can you adapt to that situation rather than manipulating that according to the way we want? That is what most of time we do. We manipulate people big time, all over the world. That is something. Everybody try to do it. Everybody like to do it. Manipulating people. But never do that. Don't get into that. You're going to have a big trouble if you try to manipulate people. It's a kind of like something that's why in the spiritual path, the Buddha mentioned that never try to cheat someone with the spiritual path. Don't try to manipulate with people. Don't try to manipulate people's consciousness. It's going to have a very dark result. Bring the dark result. So that's why it's your conscious decision. So then always try to share, be honest, and adapt to situations. Be humble. Be like water. You're not going to change the situation. You adapt according to the situation. It is a skill. You have to have a deeper understanding, the current, you have to have the trust to be like that. You have to be fearless to do like that because of your fear. Sometimes push you to manipulate that all, the control everything around you. But end of the day, it's going to bring very difficult things. So that's why I always remember when it comes to wisdom path, when you want to develop the life with very strong, clear spiritual foundation, especially when it comes to meditation and in day-to-day life, even in your conventional life, and how you can make it to take it to next level of your spiritual path, start to focus to these four things. There are many other, but for today, just keep focused to these four things. One is gaining the complete wisdom. Another one, keep the compassion next to it, whatever the success you gain. So the third one is observing silence. The fourth one is being harnessed and adapt to situation. So in that way, if you have these four pillars, so it's kind of like you have four paces. Now you have one, or you can see only this side. But if you have that all the four, it's kind of like you have four paces, can see the four directions. Because when you see something as ordinary person in one side, what happened? Maybe there are a lot of things we can't see. Even especially sometimes when it comes to danger. You know, sometimes there are people and they are in danger, but they don't know. So somebody else shout from far away, hey, you are in danger, get out, get out. Because that person can see it. Like just imagine, sometimes the house is burning. Inside that house, the children are playing, they don't know the house is burning. So maybe from the outside, somebody see it and they shout, hey, your house burning, get out of it. So like that, sometimes we go through sufferings, sometimes we are in ignorance, sometimes we are ourselves put into difficulties, we are abusing ourselves, we're giving a hard time to us, but we don't know. That is where the Dharma will help you. Dharma will show you. You are in danger, or you are inside the house that keep burning. You are in difficulties, you put yourself to difficulties, so like that. So these 4 paces will help you to understand this. Compassion, wisdom, and being silenced. And at the same time, have ability to adapt to situations. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left hand, neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say so patveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalation and exhalations happen itself. So when it happens, be aware about it. Do nothing extra. So bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, the stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ettavata amnehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhammanu patipattiya buddhang pujemi Dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribunjissami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless.